Looking for a great place for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Try the Harbor Cove Cafe, located in the beautiful Ventura Harbor. This remarkable gem is locally owned and operated and serves a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites, plus a full espresso bar and delightful tropical libations mixed up by our own Dr. Shocker. Visit them online at harborcovecafe.net or give them a call at 805-658-1639. Harbor Cove Cafe, located at 1867 Spinnaker Drive in the Ventura Harbor. With their delicious food and amazing beverages, the Harbor Cove Cafe is Ventura County's hidden treasure. But now you know where to find it.
Now it's time for Backseat Mogul with R. Scott Bolton. He talks about showbiz because showbiz won't talk about him.
Showbiz is a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs for no good reason. There's also a bad side.
This is the Backseat Mogul Show, live here on Rough Edge FM. I am R. Scott Bolton. I am the Backseat Mogul, and this is the show where we talk about show business. Johnny D thought the camera was on him the whole time, so he was over there rocking out to the Slam Alice theme from the Backseat Mogul Show. But Johnny, nobody saw you. Sorry, man.
Yeah, I don't care. I just love that theme, and I rock out to it every time I hear it.
It is good stuff, Slam Alice. So this is our first live broadcast ever on Rough Edge FM. Video broadcast, I should say. We've always done our shows live because I am of the opinion that live shows are better shows. Mistakes, warts and all, that's all part of being a real podcast show. A lot of people are spending a lot of money nowadays on post-production on their podcasts. And there's some podcasts that's very important for, not ours. And for example, today you can see I am my face is shielded in darkness because I can't find the button for my Ring camera. So I'm my Ring light. So we're just going to stick with it for now and then see what happens. But Johnny's here, and sadly you can see him real well.
I can always turn the flashlight on my camera or my phone and shine.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that. So I wanted to start today to talk about 3 movies I saw this week. 2 of which I really enjoyed, 1 of which I was very disappointed for. So which should we start with?
Let's go with the disappointment.
The disappointment.
Yeah, because it's better to get that out of the way and then
wait for the good stuff.
Yeah, end the segment on a high note.
All right, I'm with that. So I was to say a few years ago, it's probably only a couple of years ago, there was a movie on Hulu called Vacation Friends. And Vacation Friends starred Lil Ray Howery, Yvonne Orji, John Cena, and Meredith Hagner, along with some others. And it was a story of a couple, a pretty normal couple, who were going away on vacation, and they run into some friends who are crazy wild people and change entirely the whole purpose of their vacation. They're just nuts. And the first movie wasn't great. It was sitting at about 58% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was funny. The characters were what made it. You fell in love with the characters. And that made the movie more enjoyable and tolerable. And I actually kind of enjoyed Vacation Friends. Vacation Friends 2 is out now, and none of that is present. There are very few laughs. There's one scene with John Cena that I actually laughed at, and I love John Cena. I think he's going to be one of those guys who's become a heck of an actor and he's a great character actor. He creates these wild characters that you just you have this sympathy with, his Peacemaker TV series.
Yeah, the one you're talking about
is hysterical because this guy is this incredible superhero, and all he wants is for people to love him. That's all he's asking for. So that's why I love John Cena. This movie, the characters aren't likable anymore. They're like, oh my God, I'm so sick of these people already. They're like the people that won't leave your party. They're sticking around too long. And the script is not funny at all. And here's the worst part. They've added Steve Buscemi to the cast, Wouldn't you think that Steve Buscemi would
Yeah.
at least make it tolerable? He doesn't. It doesn't work at all. So I was very disappointed with Vacation Friends 2. If I was going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 3. And by the way, it's sitting at 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I'm not the only one who has that opinion. And it's sad but true. But it worked the first time. I wish it had worked this time too, but it didn't.
The way you've described this particular one reminds me of a movie that we went to go see a screening of. Had a great cast, but the story, the acting appeared, maybe it was the film, the direction was terrible, and that was Body of Evidence.
We went to the cast and crew screening of Body of Evidence.
Supposed to be a drama.
And the audience was laughing their heads off at how bad the movie was. It was embarrassing.
Now,
yeah, that was sad.
When you say audience,
This is the people who made the movie.
yeah. Now, Scotty, when Scotty started asking me to go along to these things, he said, the only thing that I need to be aware of is, first off, no talking during the screening.
It's all about respecting the film.
Exactly. And so we're sitting there and we're both trying very hard not to laugh out loud.
We did a lot of eye rolling though.
Yeah. But when you've got the actors and the crew who actually worked on this movie, and when I say actors, I'm talking about the main actors.
Yeah.
They're laughing at this thing. So maybe it was a combination of the directing and the editing, which made it.
It was just awful.
It was
awful.
very terrible. And like I said, it had a really good cast.
And it's funny, John always brings up that title whenever we're talking about bad movies because it just made that kind of an impact on him. And the other rule was you don't talk about the movie until when?
You get away from the
So
building.
you're away from the theater. And so when we got in the car, it's like, oh my God, that was horrible. And we were laughing about the cast and crew laughing at it. And it's like, it was just not a good thing.
Now, the cast and crew laughing probably made it tolerable for
This
us.
movie isn't bad in that sense. It's bad. It's just dull.
Yeah.
It's just dull. And that doesn't work. And like I said, when you make Steve Buscemi dull, you've
Yeah.
done something drastically
And
wrong.
I like what you say about John Cena. I haven't followed that series, Peacemaker, whatever it's called.
Whichever it is. I probably should find out.
But I remember him, like Hulk Hogan started out as a wrestler. And what I have seen him on in movies and television shows, and especially talk shows, he comes across as a really great guy.
He does. And that's part of what makes him perfect for Peacemaker.
Mhm.
It is Peacemaker. I looked it up because, like I said, he's the superhero who can, just destroy anything, but all he wants is people to like him.
Yeah.
And that's the theme through the entire series. By the way, they haven't announced season 2 of that yet, have they? I hope it's going to get a renewal.
I don't know. I have not seen.
I mean, nothing's happening now because of the strikes, but I hope that happens. That was kind of weird yesterday, going off the rail here a little bit. Did you see the story yesterday about Quentin Tarantino?
No.
He made an official announcement that he's going to shoot his 10th and final film, which he called that himself. Is going to shoot in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tarantino should shoot in Los Angeles. It's perfect for him to shoot in LA. But he can't until the strike is over. So I thought that was a little odd that he would make that announcement out of the blue that he's going to be shooting in. It was almost like a press release too.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's a little weird that,
okay. So,
but then the directors are on strike.
yeah.
So he's allowed to do that. I guess it's not like, but
Well, so he's not directing. He's just making an announcement.
that doesn't matter. You're talking about a film.
Oh.
For example, I saw today a post between Barbara Crampton and, oh God, I love that guy, Jeffrey Combs. And she was talking about how it was his birthday and she was telling him happy birthday. And she said, I can't show you a picture from any of the movies we're in because of the strike, but here's a picture of us at a party somewhere. So, you're not even supposed to do that. You're supposed to not promote movies whatsoever when you're on strike with this thing. So, and by the way, it doesn't look like there's a lot of movement, but people are starting to get desperate. So we'll see what happens with that. A couple of companies have made deals directly with the Writers Guild and the Actors Guild so they can continue movies. Maybe that's the way of the future. Maybe that's how you'd get it done. I don't know.
I saw a thing online about NBC's fall schedule, and it starts out, shows some of the not regular dramas and comedies, but the what do you call the Real World or Big Brother
Reality
shows.
Yeah.
And that starts out, that's the first two. And then when it gets down to some of the dramas, there's 2 dramas that are coming out, which just said original. Then the others, like Law and Order, SUV, and all the others, says repeat.
Yeah,
Repeat.
it's going to have to be. It's going to have to be. Yeah, the reality stars, as I understand it, aren't on strike. They're not part, even though they've been talking about it, because I didn't know if they're unionized or not, but if they're not, they've been talking about that as well. But they're looking for more money as well. So we'll see what happens. You know, it's a long way going. It's been a long, hard strike so far. And like I said, it's affected this show because we don't get a lot of news anymore, which is why I'm doing 3 movie reviews this morning.
So this movie, Vacation
Friends 2.
Oh, Vacation Friends 2.
It's on Hulu.
Would you say it's terrible?
Yes, I would. I was very disappointed in it. I was, you know, the first one was fun. It wasn't great. It wasn't designed to win awards or anything like that, but I enjoyed it. And this one, not so much. So I'm afraid that the good news is maybe there won't be a Vacation Friends 3. Let's not do it again, you know. But we'll see. The other one I saw is also a sequel. There's more than one, but the next one I saw is also a sequel, and it has one of my favorite action stars in the world. And Johnny, when you think of me and my favorite action star, who do you think of?
Oh, it's got to be. Let's see. Oh, what's that one guy's name?
He knows.
He likes to drive cars.
He knows.
Likes to drive cars very fast. He's been in a plane with this big.
Am I going to have to just
star,
say it?
And it's the guy you have a man crush on.
That's what my wife says.
Jason Statham.
Jason damn Statham. Let's get his name right. Jason Statham's new movie, Meg 2: The Trench. Now, The Meg was one of those movies that you went to see at the theater, and you knew it was going to be big and dumb and stupid, but it was going to be what? Fun. It was going to be fun with Jason Statham. And it was. The first Meg movie was a blast. It was idiotic, but it was packed with action and thrills and what have you. So, and it did very well at the box office. So Meg 2, The Trench, has been released now in theaters right now, doing very well. They're considering it a big hit because why? It didn't cost $300 or $400 million like Indiana Jones did. Mm-hmm. It cost about $150 million, I understand, and it's doubled that already. So it's doing very well out there, which means what? Meg 3 in the pipeline. In Meg 2, it starts out with they've discovered this deep part of the ocean, the trench, and it's covered by some kind of a thermal layer, and they got to get below the thermal layer to see what's going on, and they do so. And when they get there, they discover there's already a lab built at the bottom of the trench where people are doing some illegal mining. And these people aren't good people. They cause an explosion. It tears open the thermal layer. And what comes out of the trench? 3 megalodons, which are 100-foot great white sharks, for those of you who don't know, and an octopus about the size of the Empire State Building. Woo-hoo. And so the first part of the movie is kind of an escape adventure because they get stranded on the seafloor and they have to get back to the surface. And there's all kinds of things in their way, including these little amphibious creatures with big sharp teeth, the 3 megalodons, and of course the giant octopus. But so the first part of the movie is that, and it's pretty intense, and they and still pretty fun. But they do spoiler alert, they do escape the trench and make it back to the surface.
Were they wearing coats? Trench coats?
You people have heard of dad jokes? That's a granddad joke.
Hey, wait a minute. It's a granduncle joke.
Great granddad.
Yeah, that
anyway, so when they get out and escape, the sharks follow them because now there's a hole in the thermal layer. Mm-hmm. And where do they go? They go to the beach where people are hanging out. So you got these 3 giant sharks tearing up this beach, this octopus pulling people off the pier, throwing them. And it is a total and utter blast. It is just breakneck action. It is fun as hell. And to see Jason Statham riding a wave with a spear, charging at a great white shark, it's just take my money. Just take my money. It was so much fun. And yeah, it's stupid and it's ridiculous and everything else. And that's why it did okay here in the States, but it's doing boffo overseas. Because remember the conversation we had a few weeks ago about how come movies like Fast and the Furious aren't doing well here anymore, but they're doing really well overseas? Is because overseas audience like the preposterous. They like the films that are over the top, whereas Americans have kind of fizzled on those. It's, it's like, it's a little ridiculous. So it doesn't matter because this is going well. So the other thing I want to mention about the Meg 2 is the director, whose name is Ben Wheatley. He and his cinematographer have got an eye for movies. This movie is gorgeous. It has incredible colors. It has great scenes, great angles. It's really fantastic to look at. It's the kind of movie where when stuff's going on, you're overwhelmed by how beautiful the scene is. And you wouldn't expect that in a movie like this one. You would expect it to be less than that. The other thing is the special effects, pretty damn good. Look up here, Johnny. I got the trailer on the window. There's a T-Rex at the beach eating a dinosaur, one of those dinosaurs you'll see later. Oh, what's that? No. That's the Megalodon eating the T-Rex. But look at those special effects. Those are good special effects. So that's the other thing for it. So I highly recommend Meg 2, The Trench. Just go have fun. You can go have fun at the movies. And this is one of those movies that you can tell just looking at the trailer, John, how beautiful that movie is. Did you have something to say?
No, I was going to say, where'd the dinosaurs come from?
That was in the original trailer. It's also the very first part of the movie. It's just to show you that the megalodons, which were real great white sharks.
It's kind of like a flashback to prehistoric times.
Just to kind of give you an idea of where the megalodons were, because they were real sharks. There were megalodons at some point. So you don't want to mess with those. Those are big sharks. All right, moving on to the next movie. This I enjoyed probably more than Meg 2. It's a movie called Nobody from 2021. Bob Odenkirk, right?
Yes.
Have you seen this movie?
No, I've seen trailers.
Okay.
I want to see this movie.
Bob Odenkirk from Better Call Saul, one of the best actors in the business. He is that good. He's way, way up there. Did this movie in 2021. And when you think of Bob Odenkirk, do you think action star?
No, not really. I think a sleazy lawyer.
That's And that's and a comic. He was a Saturday Night Live writer for many years and has a couple of stand-up specials, which I got to hunt down one of these days. I got to find those. But in this one, he plays a family man. And one night, his home is broken into, and these two robbers are going through his house. Well, he and his son, confront them, and a fight ensues. And one of the robbers is fighting with his son. He's fighting with another robber, but he finds a baseball bat. And he's in a position where he can just smash that robber's head in and then go after the other guy. And instead he stops and he puts the bat down and he tells her to leave. And he tells the guy who's fighting with his son, get out now, just go. And his son's, oh no, Dad, you can't let him. He goes, no, just let him go. Let him get out of here. So the two robbers leave and his son's there with a black eye because the guy beat him up. And so they try to get the house back in order. The next morning, you can tell his wife's disappointed in him. He had a chance to stop these robbers. Instead, he let him go. You can tell his son's disappointed in him. He's got a black eye. He got beat up by these robbers, and his dad let him go. His father-in-law, who he's trying to buy a business from, is disappointed in him because he didn't really protect his family. He let the bad guys go. Some of his friends are saying the same thing. But then Bob goes into this room and locks the door behind him, opens this secret panel, and gets somebody on the radio, the two-way radio, and starts talking to the guy about it. And we find out that Bob is a trained killer. And he's been retired for years so he could have his family, enjoy his family. And he didn't want to go after those burglars because he knew it would trigger something in him. And what it would trigger is this violent version of himself that likes to fight people, that likes to deliver pain to the bad guys.
Now, this is not a spoiler alert. This is in the trailers.
Yes. So he's like, I did the right thing because I know it. Once that's triggered, it's going to be bad. And so he goes back out and he goes back home and he's talking. And then his little girl discovers that in addition to what else the robbers took, they took her little kitty cat bracelet. And he snaps. Ooh. That's it. You took my little girl's kitty cat bracelet, and he snaps. And I know this is a long story here, but there's a reason I'm telling you this way. I'm not going to give much away. So he goes after the robbers. He finds out who they are. He goes after them. And again, he kind of lets them go. There's a reason for that, but I'll let you see that in the film himself. Again, because I think he knows that once he starts, he's going to kill both of them. And he doesn't want to do that. So he leaves. He gets on a bus and he's taking the bus home. And right next to the bus stops at a red light. This car crashes. And these drunken Russians spill out into the street. And they're laughing and they're, oh, we wrecked our car. They got bottles. And they look over and they go, a bus. We'll just get on the bus. And Odenkirk's at the back of the bus. And he's leaning back and he's watching these Russians. And he says, if there's a God, these guys will get on this bus. And they get on the bus. And you could imagine what happens from that point on. He beats the living crap out of all of them. And then what happens? The whole Russian mob comes after him. So anyway, that's all I'll give away, which is a lot. I realize that, but you've seen it in the trailer. You know what's going on. The film is really well shot. The action sequences are, if not John Wick, just barely below John Wick style. They're amazing. Odenkirk, afterwards, you're like, where's Nobody 2? Hopefully he doesn't do it because of his heart attack, because this is like a very physical film, but it was freaking awesome. And if you like the John Wick movies, there's no way you won't love Nobody. It's only 90 minutes long too, so it's a quick watch. Terrific cast. The rest of the cast, by the way, I want to mention them. Bob Odenkirk, of course. Connie Nielsen plays his wife. Christopher Lloyd plays his father. And Michael Ironside plays his father-in-law. So you got a good
Michael
cast.
Ironside is a really great
He is terrific. Ironside, there's no S. Otherwise, he'd be in a wheelchair and be a lawyer.
No, he'd actually be.
Was that Ironsides or was that Ironside?
That's a good question.
I don't know. Maybe if it was his wheelchair, it'd be Ironside's wheelchair. I'm just looking for excuses.
Yeah,
So,
I remember that TV show. I liked it.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Anyway, those are my 3 movie reviews for today. Nobody, I'm not sure where you can find it. It was on Max when I watched it.
I'm not sure.
It's on Freevee now.
Yes, which is owned by Amazon.
Right.
So you can probably pull it up on Prime Video or just go to Freevee.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if they have a premium on that, because some shows, even though it says Freevee,
well, Freevee is a separate channel. I don't think they have anything that you pay for on Freevee.
No, well,
I think it's all
I'm
paid
not
by. I think it's all paid by commercials. You have to watch commercials, but they do commercials right because they don't edit the film. Can't stand that when they cut out foul language or scenes because they're too violent. They don't edit the film, and after the commercial, they go back a second, so you haven't missed any of the film.
Exactly, they go back.
I like that a lot.
To just before it broke for the commercial. So yeah, it's really cool. I like it.
Yes. So those are my 3 movie reviews today. Johnny, what have you seen lately?
I have a group of shows that I like to watch on Prime Video and Netflix, and most of the time it's Prime Video. And I have fallen in love with these Australian and UK TV shows. A lot of them are, they're older shows, but I really like them. I can see where a lot of the American shows that we have get their ideas from, or it's like The Office. The Office American version was a direct result of the UK's The Office.
Authorized.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. Obviously these are authorized. And I just like these shows. One show that I watched last night.
So the shows you're watching, and please get to the title soon. Mm-hmm. Are they shows that have been converted to American shows? I mean, because it goes both ways, of course. There's American shows that are converted to
some, yes.
Okay.
Not all of them.
All right.
Like this one series that I've been watching, and I can't remember what season I'm in. It's called Blue Healers. And Healers is Heels.
I saw that. That's about the Smurf doctors who
yes.
are in the forest. No? Oh, okay.
No, this is about it's a police procedural. Did I say that word right?
As far as I know.
Okay. And
it's a show about cops.
Exactly. Australian cops. And this particular town that they're in is called Mount St. Thomas. And it's not in the outback, but it's not far from Melbourne, Australia. And this one this one actor that came is a guest star. He plays the part of a defense attorney who is hired to defend this guy who's accused of making bomb threats to a family. And he gets hired by this politician to come in because the guy who was accused works for the politician. So anyway, who rolls in this Mercedes? None other than a very young Hugh Jackman.
Oh, that figures.
And it was really cool seeing him in his pre-Wolverine days. I mean, man,
how was he? Was he okay?
Oh yeah, he was great. I like the show. I've been following it. Sometimes I catch myself watching 2, 3, 4 episodes before I realize, oh wow, oops, it's late. It's just one of the shows I like to watch. Another one.
I'm surprised that you watch 2 or 3 in a row because you hate them. You like.
I
to
know
wait
it.
a week.
I don't like to binge watch. Like when they drop when Netflix drops a series, they always do like 10 episodes, and I want to do week by week because if I binge watch the whole show this week, what am I going to watch next week?
Something else.
Well, yeah, but I like to savor it.
I know that's weird. I think it's more to do with your old school style of viewing,
You
which
know,
of course I did too, because we had to wait a week until our next episode of a show came on. Myself, I prefer to watch them as bingey as I can make them. Some of them I can't watch like that. Justified, I had to watch the new Justified every week it was on because I couldn't wait for it to for all of them to drop. But I like it because I can keep my focus better. A lot of times when you wait week by week, you're wait, what? I don't remember that happening, but it did. You just forgot about it. But if you watch it, 4 episodes in a night, you tend to follow it a little closer.
Well, most of the shows that I watch, there's even a Canadian show I watch called the Murdoch Mysteries.
Yes, you've talked about that before,
and that one takes place in the late 1800s in Canada, and it's about a police department.
Is that show really grim? The reason I'm asking is because when I was on KVTA this week or recently, Diana, who does our traffic force, she was watching a show that I thought had that title, and she said it was very grim and disturbing. Would that be maybe it's a different title?
It had to be a different title because
this was not so much.
It does. It's got drama in it, and with a little bit of comedy. I wouldn't really call it comedy, but something that makes you smile.
A little lightheartedness amongst the crime and stuff like that. Okay,
which makes it nice.
Yes.
And there's also some romance or implied romance.
Implied romance.
Yeah. Well,
by the way,
you should watch it.
I noticed that when I look at you, if you look at the camera, it looks like I'm ignoring you. So I'm looking directly at Johnny right now, but it looks like I'm like,
oh yeah, like you're looking that way and I'm looking this way.
Hang on, I'm gonna do something else here.
Okay, but another show I like to watch, which is from the UK, and it's called Murder City. And the main actress in it is
great title, simple.
Yeah,
sounds like a Spillane novel.
And again, it's about a police department in the UK and in England, and it's the murder squad, or the homicide department, as they would call it over here. But anyway, the lead actress
they
in
call
this
it
one,
a homicide department over here.
Well, don't they?
I don't know. You think I would, being a crime writer?
Oh, it's either or it could be major crimes, depending on the.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Yeah, depending on what department or what.
And especially if you kill a major.
Then yeah. Or what if they killed a sergeant?
Sergeant crime.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So anyway, Amanda Donohoe.
Oh yeah, she's terrific.
Oh yeah, and you remember her from?
What do we remember her from, John?
It was one of these lawyer shows, and I want to say it was either that one or the other one. Oh God, I can't remember.
LA Law?
Yeah, LA Law.
There we go.
I was going to say, what was the one that had Denny Crane?
That wasn't it?
No, was that LA? No, that wasn't LA Law. What was it? The Denny Crane
that
one.
was Boston Legal.
Yes, Boston Legal.
Which I'm thinking about watching again from the beginning.
Oh, why not?
Just because Shatner, everybody always laughed at Shatner.
Mhm.
Shatner, look at the way he acts and everything else. And then he does Denny Crane, and he wins an Emmy.
Oh yeah,
because he's that good. You don't realize how good he could be, but he was nailed it.
The connection between the two lead actors. Now, I don't know if they were like that in real life, but the way they came across on the screen, William Shatner and let's go say Red Foreman. And he didn't play Red Foreman.
I'll find it for you, John. You talking about Spader?
Yes, James Spader, man. It was a great TV show.
Well, they did get married at the end, so they must have.
Yeah, that's true.
They must have had some kind of. I love that scene too. Shatner's going on and on about why you can't get married no matter what, and he asks James Spader's character, "Will you marry me?" And James Spader's character goes, "And I'm trying to do the best I can." He goes, "Of course I'll marry you, Denny." He just loves the whole idea about how funny it is to do it, to stick it to the legal people, and to do it to because that's the kind of thing that Denny Crane would come up with. That was a great show.
I like the way they would end most of the episodes. They'd be sitting out out on that balcony.
Yeah, smoking a cigar and drinking their whiskey.
Yeah, it was a great show.
It was a great show. I am seriously thinking about going back and watching it from the beginning again. And you know what? Let's see where we can watch it.
Boston Legal.
See, isn't this great, folks? We have video, so now you can watch me do research. It's amazing. So Boston Legal is now available on Prime Video or Hulu Plus.
Nice.
So
okay.
I love Hulu. Hulu is one of my favorite streaming networks. I watch it constantly. They just raised the rate here because we have a package of three streaming networks. We have Hulu, we have Disney Plus, and we have ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
So they just raised the rate to $25, $26, I think. That's okay. You got 3 networks, right? Here's the problem. Hulu, yeah, I watch Hulu a lot. Disney Plus, not very often. ESPN, why do I have a sports network? I am not a sports guy. So if I can get those 2 channels cheaper than the $26, I'm going to dump the ESPN package because I don't need it.
Do you remember when I was living up in the Palmdale area?
No.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
I had satellite service. It was through, I believe it was Dish. And when I signed up for it, I decided I did not want a bunch of shopping networks. I didn't want channels that were foreign language channels because I don't speak foreign languages. I didn't want a bunch of religious shows.
Jesus.
Okay. What I wanted was my East and West Coast feeds of the majors like ABC, NBC, CBS. I wanted what was it, WGN, which I believe is Chicago.
Okay, bottom line is, did they let you pick and choose?
Yes. And at that time, there was a sports channel I think it was called the Speed Channel, which is because I
remember the Speed Channel. We sold them product.
Yeah. And so I was able to pick what I wanted, and it was $15 a month. Now, this was back in the 90s. They don't let you do that anymore.
No, everything's bundled.
Yeah.
And I hate it too, because I have dozens of channels of sports on my cable thing. Where we live, we can only get cable or satellite. And I'm not a big fan of satellite. It works, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not a big fan of satellite. But the cable is all we got. And they've got me paying for dozens of sports networks. And the foreign language things, I don't mind so much as long as there's subtitles, because sometimes there might be a movie I want to watch. But I want to watch movies and I want to watch my networks. And I'm an entertainment guy. I'm not a sports guy.
Right.
So, but I'm going to have to call Spectrum, because I don't want to pay for sports networks anymore. Mm-hmm. Take them off of there. But we'll see what they do. I mean, I'm paying way too much money to them anyway. Our monthly cable bill is about $260.
Ooh.
So I got to do something about that. And I don't know what it is. That includes our internet, by the way. So there's that to be considered. And our internet is great. I love our internet. But I just don't need to be paying for all those channels. And I think I'm going to cancel HBO too, because if I can subscribe to HBO Max right now, because I subscribe to HBO, I get HBO Max for free. But I think I can get HBO Max cheaper if I drop the HBO cable channel. but I don't know. I got to figure it all out.
Are you getting Paramount Plus?
Paramount Plus is my favorite channel. Why? It's the Star Trek channel.
Yeah. What about Peacock?
Yes. There's virtually nothing I don't have, which is also ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted Showtime and we couldn't afford to have, well, I canceled Showtime when they canceled Ash versus the Evil Dead because screw them. And, but there was some stuff I wanted to see on Showtime. And then Paramount Plus had a deal where for $2 extra, you could add Showtime to Paramount Plus. Done deal. That's easy. But yeah, there's very little networks I don't have a subscription to. Obviously, I watch a lot of stuff for this show, for the KVTA and stuff like that. So I need all
I
those.
heard that.
Did you kick something? I think you kicked something.
Well, I moved my feet.
Don't move your feet.
Sorry.
For the love of God, don't move your feet. We got enough issues here.
I'm dancing.
Yeah. But anyway, that's it for that. But
listen, if you've got Netflix, or especially if you've got Prime Video, Amazon's Prime Video, and Freevee, there are a lot of 50s, 60s TV shows, whether it's American or European, as in the UK. One of the UK channel shows that I'm watching is The Avengers.
Didn't you have a box set of that?
No,
I thought you bought the whole series.
I bought the whole set of
Man from Uncle. I know, but I also thought you bought Avengers.
No, I bought some seasons.
Okay,
but I'd never got any of the seasons of the original with Honor Blackman as the female lead. So, but it starts out with season 2. Season one is not on there.
Really?
Which really surprised me because I wanted to see how it started. But it's quite interesting because seasons 1, 2, I think I'm on season 3. They're all black and white. I don't think they went to color until after Diana Rigg replaced Honor Blackman. I could be wrong on that.
How many seasons were there of the Avengers?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I know there was 3 female leads over the period.
Okay, there must have been 6 seasons because on Pluto you get all 6 seasons. So if you have Pluto TV, you can watch all 6 seasons. Prime Video only has 5 seasons, so that's probably it. iTunes, Amazon, and Vudu's only got 3 seasons, so that's weird. But if you got Pluto, which has got a ton of content, you can get all 6 seasons.
Okay,
there,
now I see up there it says Pluto is free. But how do you get Pluto? Don't you have to have some kind of
it's an app. It's just an app like anything else.
Oh, so you don't have to belong to like Spectrum or anything like that?
No, just have to have a cable. I mean, an internet connection is all.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's paid for with commercials.
Like that's fine.
Are. So, and I haven't watched enough Pluto to know if they do it the way that Freevee does, where they don't edit the show and where they go back a second. That go back a second thing is a lifesaver. That just makes all the difference in the world.
But like I said, there's a ton of shows. Another show I've been watching is from the beginning is I hate it when I do that. I really do. It's a Western. It's the Western James Bond. Wild West. Wild West. Yes. And I've been watching the original Wagon Train with Ward Bond as the Wagon Train master.
When we went to Bishop up here, we went to Bishop last weekend. That's why there was no show last weekend. My grandmother was watching that channel, and I don't know what channel it's actually on, but she was watching Wagon Train. She was watching all these old Westerns, Clint Eastwood Westerns, and classic Westerns, spaghetti Westerns. It was a lot of fun stuff. So, but yeah.
And there's also the Virginian, which later became the Men from Shiloh.
It did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because, they changed the owner of the ranch, like I think 3 times during the course of the show. And one time Lee J. Cobb was an owner of the ranch. And then Stuart Granger, an Englishman, buys the ranch, but they keep all the actors or not the actors, it was the actors, but the cowhands and all that was the same characters, the actors playing them. So, but there's a ton of old TV shows that young people today don't know anything about. And one of the reasons I like to watch these shows, I see because they did a lot of practical effects as opposed to computer generated effects.
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
I don't know why you're so prejudicial against that. You know,
maybe because I've done practical effects.
What? Name one practical effect you actually did.
I can't remember what the name of the movie was.
Of course not. That's let's start there. But I don't remember. Come on, let's try to dig your way out of this.
The scene involved an Uzi that gets dropped and it starts firing by itself and it's jumping all over the place. And I was wearing a green screen type, so they couldn't see my hands.
Oh, so that was CGI. Oh, okay. What other practical effects have you done? Strike one, John. Strike one.
No.
Green screen, CGI.
Well, they took out my hand.
Yeah, but CGI.
It was a real Uzi I was flopping around.
Still CGI. What else you got? Don't be so hateful about CGI. When CGI works as it does in the Meg 2, it works.
No, and some movies today, or not just today, but go back a ways. You got to have CGI in order. I mean, you got guys up in space. You got a volcano erupting. You got a giant shark. Yeah, you need that CGI. But back in the day of television, a lot of the effects were done.
Well, they had to be.
Yeah, there
was no CGI to be done.
Yeah.
But now CGI is here. Why is it bad? It's not.
Oh, it puts a lot of people out of work.
Well, okay, so we should stop that. So see, this is the argument. The taxi drivers were all, we shouldn't allow Uber and these places to do business because it hurts our business. Well, change your business.
Okay, this also goes to like the writer's strike. One of their big things is AI writing scripts. It's putting them out of work. And
how many scripts have been written by AI so far?
I have no idea.
Exactly. Because it doesn't work.
But then why do they keep, why is it such an issue?
Because here's the bottom line. The studios could use AI to write scripts, but they'd be crap scripts. Yeah. That's the problem. AI, no matter how smart it gets, cannot emulate the human mind. It can't. It won't work. So that's not an issue. That doesn't fit our argument. The argument is anytime you say we can't do this because it'll put people out of work, you need to come up with a different scheme. You need to figure out what your next step is going to be. And I know it sucks sometimes, like it does for the taxi drivers. They didn't want Uber to exist or Lyft to exist because it was going to hurt their business. Well, then change your business model. You have to.
No, I agree with that.
So what else is your prejudicial against CGI?
Oh, no,
we struck down 2 of them so far. 1, you've never done.
I was moving on.
Never done practical effects. 2, CGI put people out of work. Yeah, it does. Then change your business. I have
done practical effects.
You just told us one that was not a practical effect.
But I've done other things that were practical.
Name
effects.
one. We haven't named one yet.
I helped blow up a car.
All right, maybe tell us that story.
No.
Oh, so it wasn't for a movie.
No, the movie didn't make it. It got canceled.
He's so funny.
That was a really cool blow up. Though.
There's a saying that if his lips are moving, he's lying. Oh, sorry, I have to do it this way so they know it's you.
Hey, have you written any good books lately?
No, but I'm very excited. Quickly, I'm very excited to get started on my next one. November 1st is the first day of November novel writing.
Oh, that's right. It's coming up.
And my new book is going to be called Miser Hills. And it's a crime novel about a bunch of different people interacting in the small town of Miser Hills. And I've been creating characters and building lives for them for several months now. And November 1st, I'll start with my very first line. And I have 30 days to finish. No, I don't. I have 30 days to get 50,000 words written. It won't be finished at 50,000 words, but it'll be closer than it was. So I will do that. I've done that now this will be my 10th year, Johnny, doing November Novel Writing Month, and every year has produced a book. So so I'm looking very much forward to Miser Hills, which I will be starting November 1st. I'm trying to think of a charity that I can come up with and have people support me by paying, a penny a word or something to a charity. I'm going to talk to Tom Spence about doing that and see if there's something.
Oh, I got the perfect charity for you. It's the JohnyD Benevolent Society.
Too late for that. That's over.
Oh.
There's a children's fund that KVTA works with every year, and I'm going to ask Tom if that might be something that would work. It might be embarrassing because maybe nobody will want to support me writing the 50,000 words.
But you're not going to know until you try.
I will write. And if I can get a penny a word, what's $50, right? 50,000 times a penny, is that 50 or 500?
Do I look like a mathematician to you?
No, but me neither.
Hey, listen,
I haven't done that yet, but I'm thinking that would be a cool thing to
that's
do.
pretty cool. Is that a Ventura County charity?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's great.
That's $500. So that's too much. I might have to do a half cent a word or something.
And, we've been talking about Amazon's Prime Video. Well, you can buy books at Amazon.com. And if you are going to buy a book at Amazon.com, consider R. Scott Bolton's books. His latest is Death and the Mogul. It is fantastic. You will enjoy. You get this book, and you're going to want more R. Scott Bolton books. My favorite is Dead Dick, which I've mentioned many times. I know that sounds really weird, but it is a detective novel. Okay, I'm going to call it a novel. It's a detective.
It is a novel.
Yeah.
It is a novel, and I've always wondered how you describe Dead Dick in a genre, because it's a detective novel. It is.
Right.
It's an action adventure novel.
Yes.
It's a fantasy novel.
Yes.
It's a horror novel.
Yes.
It's a little bit of everything.
Yes.
So I don't know what you call it. I don't know how you do that.
Dead Dick is Dick is a, would you call it
Richard
a slang?
King.
Is Dick that's slang?
Slang for detective.
Yeah, for detective, which was something that came out. I don't know if it was in the 30s or not, but I know in the 40s and 50s movies and TV shows, they referred to private detectives and probably regular detectives as dicks.
There's the book cover right there. If you're interested, Death and the Mogul, a Brace Heller novel. Brace Heller is my detective that I've been writing. That's the third Brace Heller novel. The fourth one, Second Shot, is coming soon. Don't know when, but coming soon. So
I hope so. I'm looking forward to reading that one.
I'm still going through Bowling Bag in the Backseat, which will be my next publication. Then I have to get it out to my quality readers, and then it's going to go to the printer. So we'll find out when that's going to be. It's not going to be till March or April of next year at the earliest.
Do we have any more H.B. Fist books coming out?
There's one that's about a third finished called Stone Dead Forever.
Ooh,
and
I like that title.
It's a Western, strangely enough, based pretty heavily on the John Wayne movie that I love so much that I can't remember the title. What's the John Wayne movie with Richard Boone is the bad guy?
Oh, Big Jake.
Big Jake. Yes, I borrow a lot from Big Jake for
it's a good movie.
For Stone Dead Forever, but it's 180 pages done, and I just haven't spent a lot of time with it. But I think it's almost time to bring Horatio Bartholomew Fist back.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Now, because it's a Western, and does it take place on another planet, or does he go back in time?
Takes place on a planet where the atmospheric conditions and magnetic field of the planet don't allow machines to work. So they can't use the modern machines like his weapon, the Flapjacker. Can't use that. They can only use handguns and projectiles.
What about his
Charger?
Charger?
It's like a steampunk kind of thing.
What about his Charger?
Charger's dead, man. Didn't you read the book? Charger died.
Oh, it's been so long, I forgot.
It has been a long time. That was the Charger. Charger died in Burner.
How's he going to get on this planet?
He's got a new car.
But if machinery doesn't work,
well, there's ways. You ever heard of a space elevator?
Apparently I just did.
A space elevator is a real thing. I mean, they haven't done it here on the planet yet, but they've talked about it, where they extend a cable or mechanism. I think it's a cable or something like that. Anyway, to a satellite in space. Mm-hmm. And they attach a cable car, elevator car to it, and the elevator car travels up into space and then comes back down.
I don't know if I'd want to ride on that.
Pretty scary, huh? But it's a real thing. If you Google what did you call it? Space elevator?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Let's
Google it and see what it is. But anyway, that space elevator takes place a little bit on the planet there. There's a movie. Wow. Anyway, look, see, there it is.
Yeah.
You thought I was making stuff up.
Uh-huh.
There it is, right there. Space elevator.
It's
a real concept. It's not just making it up. And in the HB Fist's future, it's a real thing.
Wow.
All these different examples of space elevators. Pretty crazy, huh?
Now, didn't they have something like that on one of the Star Trek movies? The later incarnations of Star Trek.
I don't remember that, but maybe it's a real concept. So yeah, it's entirely possible.
Wow.
All
anyway, on Amazon.com, you can get the R. Scott Bolton books. If you have Amazon Prime, you're going to get free delivery. And remember, Christmas is not that far off. These books will make great Christmas gifts.
There is nothing better than a collection of R. Scott Bolton books for your loved ones. That's obviously
so.
Just
anyway,
hey, look at all these pictures of Death in the Mogul up there.
I like that.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, I like that picture of the Dead Duck book with just the hat. That is so cool.
The hat with a bullet hole and smoke coming out of it.
Hey, listen, you know what's showing at our local theater?
Jaws Revenge?
No, that's no. When I say
all those Jaws movies are on Netflix this month, by the way.
Oh, sweet. Our local theater is called the Buenaventura. It's the Regency, the Buenaventura 6. And what's showing there? Barbie is still showing there.
Of course.
Blue Beetle.
I
can wait till that comes out on streaming. Now, this one I just may go see this week. The Equalizer 3.
That's there at that little theater?
Yep.
I might go there too.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3.
I want to see that as well. I love Nia.
Now this, I don't remember the first.
She wrote and directed that as well. Yeah.
Now this one here, and I don't remember the first one, The Nun 2.
Oh yeah. That's the big movie this weekend. That'll probably be the number one movie.
I don't even know what it's about.
It's a horror movie. If you Google The Nun, you'll see either a horrible zombie-like face or Jake and Elwood from the Blues Brothers.
All I do is push that button, and it says, "A priest is murdered. An evil is spreading. The sequel to the worldwide smash hit follows Sister Irene as she once again comes face to face with Valak, the demon nun."
Swell.
Ooh.
Swell.
Okay.
Yeah, there's more.
Oh, yeah.
God.
As soon as my phone, this is what happens when you go to a cheap.
We love this little theater. We want it to survive, which is why we talk about it every week.
Well, it used to be what we called a cheap theater.
It was a discount house.
Yeah.
And now it's not. Now it's a first run house. Still cheaper than the other theaters. But the projection and sound quality is good. It's a good place to go see a movie.
And Eisenberg hot dogs.
Yeah. And they're not $1.50 anymore, though, are they? I think they're $2.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
But
get 6 of them and you get less.
Even if it's a $3 hot dog, it's still good.
Yeah.
Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, whatever. Move on. I'm tired of that movie getting all the
coming flashback would be Clue, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Oh, I don't know if Expendables 4.
Can't wait for that. That'll be fun. It'll be stupid, just like Meg 2, but it'll be fun.
Oh my goodness. Flashback Wednesday opens September 21st. My all-time favorite movie.
Arsenic Olays?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, you said that last week. Good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie.
My second all-time is
great movie.
Arsenic and Old Lace.
Have you read Become a Watchman yet?
No, I got the book, but I haven't read it yet.
I haven't either.
Saw X is coming, or would that be Saw 10?
Don't know. I think it could be either.
Mm-hmm. Paw Patrol, the Mighty Movie. Corpse Bride is coming. Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, they're doing those. That's fun. For Halloween, obviously.
Yes. The Exorcist, Believer.
Don't know that one.
The Twilight Saga Marathon.
Yeah, I told Andrea about that. My son's girlfriend. She was all, hell yeah. She's going.
See all 5 films on the big screen. Oh, my goodness.
It's enough sparkly vampires to last you a lifetime.
Ghostbusters. The Shining. Ooh. Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour.
Oh, my God. That movie has made so much money already in pre-sales. It's good. That woman is a monster. She is there. I don't think there's ever been anybody like Taylor Swift. And that's pretty impressive for this day and age.
Okay. She just had her concert at SoFi Stadium.
Yes.
And it was huge.
Yes. Andrea was there.
Mm-hmm. And then the next big concert they had there was Beyonce. and it was huge.
What about Metallica? Didn't Metallica play there?
Metallica played there, and you know what?
It was huge.
No. It was bigger than.
There's some caveats there, though. They did sell more tickets per night, but
Mhm.
they were only there 2 nights, and Taylor was there 5 nights. So you got to take that into consideration.
But also,
but Metallica was doing their show where they don't play the same song; they play a different set every night, and it's Metallica, one of the greatest bands of all time. So,
and also at the Metallica concert, there was a dog.
Yeah,
the seats.
Isn't that funny? Poor baby stuck in there. I don't know. I wonder how it did. Metallica had to issue a release. Don't bring your dogs to the shows. It's not a place for dogs.
Now, my understanding was it snuck in.
Oh, it did. It escaped and it snuck into the theater. But it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't enjoying the show. The poor thing was probably panicked because you haven't been to a Metallica concert.
No, I haven't. I would love.
You've been to the Motorhead show at the
yes,
the Long Beach Arena. Yeah, this Metallica's louder. Metallica's the loudest band I've ever seen. And I've seen Motorhead many, many times.
Yeah, but the picture they showed of the dog, it's like it's sitting in the chair. It looked like it was enjoying it.
I bet you the music wasn't playing. All right, Johnny, we got to end that now.
The Addams Family.
What part of end it don't you understand?
The Lost Boys.
I guess all of it.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop.
Ooh, The Thing.
Little Shop of Horrors. Oh,
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Citizen Kane. The Sting. Oh, Full Metal Jacket.
Good. Stop there. We can't. You won't even.
No, I am
because
that was the last one. I saw it when Full Metal Jacket first came out. That was the theater I saw it at.
Oh, really?
It was the Man Theater.
I think I probably saw it there too. Now that I think about it.
You probably.
Oh no,
worked
I went to a screening. I was at a screening for that.
Well, you probably worked it.
I'm sure I did.
Because
I don't know. I think
James
I was working somewhere
there at that
time. I think I was working at the other theater when that was out, but I don't know. Final thing I want to talk about real quick is the new Godzilla series for Apple TV has released a trailer. It looks like a lot of fun. It's a Monarch, a Legacy of Monsters. There's a lot of monsters to be seen in there, including, of course, my hero, Godzilla. You can see my Godzilla t-shirt right now here. So it's going to start on November 17th. There are 10 episodes, and I hope it's as entertaining as it looks. Here's 2 things about it. It has 2 of my favorite stars in the world in it. Godzilla and Kurt Russell.
Ooh.
So
Kurt Russell's going to be in a Godzilla?
Is in the Godzilla TV series. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be on starting November 17th and then a single episode every week until January 12th. Check it out. It looks pretty good. John Goodman also in the film, in that series. I'm looking forward to it. I am a huge Godzilla fan, and the more Godzilla I can get, the better. And then we have Godzilla -1, which is coming out in December, which is made and directed by special effects were made. And the film was directed by a guy who has been a Godzilla fan for ages. And his dream has always been to make a Godzilla movie.
You directed a Godzilla movie?
I wish I had that guy's talents because it's pretty incredible. All right.
What's his name?
I didn't bring it up because I don't know. See, this is how you do it, John. If you don't know, you don't bring it up.
Sorry.
But I probably should. So hold on. Godzilla -1 director. Go ahead.
Takashi Yamazaki.
Not bad. Not bad.
That works for me.
He's so excited about doing a Godzilla movie. And
good for him.
It looks like he's done a great job too for the trailer for that. All right, folks. We'll see you again next week. Thank you for listening to and watching the Backseat Mogul show. We'll get the light fixed so you can see me better next time. Sorry. Sometimes you got to suffer for your art.
Did you plug it in?
It's plugged in. I just can't find the remote. It's here somewhere. But anyway, what are you doing, John?
Oh, I found a cord.
Don't start pulling cords. For the love of God.
Oh, it goes to the fan.
All right, folks. We'll see you next week. Don't forget, go to the Grape. It is our favorite place in town. It is a house of jazz and spirits, as you can see there from the ad. And they have a great acts. They have the Jeff Lorber Fusion is going to be playing there soon. That's a big show. I didn't find out about it until it's too late. I probably won't be able to get tickets.
Where is the Grape located?
It's let's find out, shall we?
Is it on Main Street in Ventura?
Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura.
Interesting.
Yeah, we've had some weird stuff going on still.
But The Grape, think about it. House of Jazz and Spirits. Spirits, and we don't mean Halloween spirits. Of course, maybe after you've had a few of them.
For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club.
Okay, go check out The Grape in Ventura on Main Street, I believe. You'll enjoy
I don't
it.
get it. Everything else worked until now. That's pretty weird. All right, folks. Again, thanks for listening to the Backseat Mogul Show. We'll see you next week. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production. I usually play that thing too, but it's probably not going to work either. So, nope.
This has
See you
been
next week. Have a good one.
Rough Edge Studios production.